Alright, good morning guys, whatsoever you're watching. My name is Emmanuel Thomas and come to you live in the John Chimon where the majority blog have their meeting, and this is the current look of the John Chimon. So the chair that the presiding officer always sits on is actually being removed by some new individual. This morning, I think I came up with that explanation and other way denying the fact that there was an renovations to the John.
Standing now, please call the session to order. Distinguished colleagues, section is being called to order. Please have your seats. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding Officer, and my distinguished Honorable ladies and gentlemen of the Honorable House of Representatives. I have the honor at this time to announce to you the 8th-day sitting of the third quarter of the Honorable House of Representatives and that of the first session of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. And now, therefore, this session is hereby called to order, and it is hereby so ordered.
Good morning, presiding members of this distinguished body. Good morning to all. I've come to speak to you on the subject, what pride can do. Taking from the text, Proverbs 16:18. It reads, pride goes before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Many people look at adultery, fornication, and other sins as the most heinous sins. But pride is the most destructive sin. Amen. May I have your all divine attention. Pride is a 5-letter word. Now, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the people are forcing you to enter, but the security are flying around the whole.
Somebody is proud. They are agents of the devil. In the middle of the word pride, you have everything I am untouchable. I'm legally minded. And so, if a man is about to fall, the Bible tells us he becomes proud.
The security, please take it easy with the movement. Please take it easy. Please take it easy with the movement.
If somebody is about to be disgraced, they become proud. If somebody is about to be dethroned, they become proud. When somebody is about to lose his or her respect, that person becomes proud. The Bible tells us pride comes before destruction. Many people today that have fallen, they fell because of pride. Satan fell because of pride. And so we are telling you this body, as the Lord is blessing you, do not allow pride to creep into your heart. The Bible says, humble yourself before the Lord, and the Lord will exalt you. And so we will be in a position to always guard you in the things of God. May God bless you, and let us pray. Lord Jesus, we thank you for this day. We pray that you bless us, to make us humble in everything that we do. For God hates pride. Take control of the session now. Take control of everything. Protect us against physical and spiritual harm and danger. I pray that you lead through the presiding officer and the representatives in chamber. Bless us all now in Jesus' name. I pray and for his glory. Amen.
Welcome.
So, honorable members of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. Honorable Councillor Anti-Koffa, Speaker, Honorable House of Representatives, Republic of Liberia. Honorable Thomas P. Fala, Deputy Speaker, Honorable House of Representatives, Republic of Liberia. Honorable Rival County, Honorable Yatu Rishi Barry, Honorable Safety West Cannon, Honorable Smokey Momba, Honorable Anthony Marcus M. Thomas, Honorable Priscilla A. Cooper, Honorable Reverend Dr. Samuel Aro Enders, Honorable Emmanuel Dan, Honorable Prince A. Todd, Honorable Francis Apogo Jr., Honorable Yake Wakoluba, Honorable Reggie N. Kum, Honorable Gary Koluba Yobo, Honorable Edward Pape Kombo, Honorable Munka Kekula Kamara, Honorable Abu Bana Kamara, Honorable Jason Lawi Sibo, Honorable Bernard Blue Benson Jr., Grand Bassa County, Azeji Bani, Clarity Banks, Matthew Joe, Alfred A. Flomo, Thomas A. Goshua II, Sanyo County, Thomas Rubio Kia, Sante Kuya, Ellison Bonoan, Maryland County, Piedmont Jury, Anthony F. Williams, Austin Blake Taylor, Grand Cape Mau County, Kaifu Masale, Mohamed Dose, Wese Tony Fekar, Home County, Praying K. Kwena, James M. Pulet, Sarah Martin Cole, Bravo Flower Wamba, Yukuni J. Colley, Moima Bridge Meza, Fuller E. Family. Lofa County, B. Kapia, Mama Shafa Kotu, BCK Collins, Gossin B. Kewu, Limba County, Samuel M. Brown Sr., Renard D. Flomo, Lega E. Gay, Honest M. Martin Sr., Samuel D. Kova, Robert T. Lega, Mutla Assembly, Stay SNN, Tarzan Woman.
Security, please keep it quiet. Please leave the art. Please. Session is in order, please.
Now, Julia County, Jeremiah D. Shoka Sr., Marie D. Johnson, Labour C. Second, Mommy County, Japapa, Obadiah Bani, Mana Bishop Johnson Jr., Sam P. Dalla, Majimi County, Roland P. Cooper, Alan K. Jones, Ellie A. Adore, and Emmanuel Yard, Clarence Dija, Riverside County, Ellie J. Grant, Steve Tikwa, Grand Blue County, Nathaniel M. Bawe Sr., Robert D. County, Alexander Paul, Alfred D. Ethiopia Wo, Johnson S. M. William Sr., Bapolu County, Zina A. Norman, Luther S. Collins, and Mustafa Warity. Honorable Presiding Officer, honorable members of the National House of Representatives, there are 42 honorable members present, 13 absent, 1 honorable member excused. Thank you very much.
Distinguished colleagues, with 42 members present, constitute a quorum for the order of business. And the reserve has distinguished colleagues, we plead for you to be patient as we have been told pepper spray has been used into this country month. And this number of potatoes, we're going to proceed with our
So folks, let me bring this to the disclosures. Pepper spray have been used here in the Chonchima. As you can see there, this lawmaker from the district, Wednesday, suffering from the pepper spray. So,
the Republic of Liberia, Tuesday, November 12, 2024 agenda. 1. Call to order. 2. Prayer. 3. Roll call. 4. Reading, corrections or amendment and adoption of the agenda. 5. Call for petition. 6. Call for special committee report. 7. Call for standing committee report. 8. Call for bills, motions, and resolutions. Now business on Speaker's desk. On that we have A. Communication from the Ministerial of State for Presidential Affairs informing the Honorable House cause of the delay of the submission of the 2025 fiscal budget. 8. Communication from some members of the House complaining Honorable Council of State
some lawmaker are suffocating from
House of Representatives Republic of
pepper spray.
Liberia. C. Communication from ECOWAS. D. Communication from Honorable Anthony F. Williams, Representative Electoral District Number 2, Maryland County, requesting the House to invite the Minister of Public Works to explain against an account of how the U.S. 22 million which was allocated in the 2024.
So pepper spray are being flowed here by sun in future, and those lawmakers are being suffocating from pepper spray, as you can see.
Electoral District Number 2, Lima County, craving the indulgence of the Honorable House of Representatives to request the House of Representatives budget performance report covering the period from January to September 2024 from the Ways, Means and Finance Committee. F. Communication from Honorable Asa B. Ethiopia Wo,
Representative Electoral District number 2, River G County, requesting plenary of the Honorable House to summon the Ministers of Internal Affairs and Finance and Development Planning on the payment issues. On the payment issue for local government appointees. G. Appearances. 1. Appearance of the Managing Director of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation and Minister of Transport to provide clarity on the statement issued by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission (LNP) on the alleged bribery involving the Ministerial of Transport and LWSC. 2. Appearance of the Minister of Internal Affairs, Director of Data Statistics, and Minister of Transport to provide reasons why the county service centers across the country are not providing the needed services to our people. 3. Appearance of the Minister of Internal Affairs to provide a report on the rollout of the local government out of 2018. 4. Appearance of the Executive Director of Renewable Energy Agency to provide comprehensive briefing on the electrification of rural communities across Liberia and the sources of funding. 5. Appearance of Honorable Josiah Marvin Cole, Honorable Edward P. Flomo, Honorable Frank S. Coco, Honorable Eugene J.M. Colley, Honorable Abu Bana Kamara, and Honorable Zina Nama for allegedly indulging in acts that are repugnant to the status of as members of the House. 8. Report from the acting chief clerk on plenary mandate to write the 30 honorable members who have been absent from session from the 22nd of October to present. 10 miscellaneous, 11 adjournment. Honorable Presiding Officer and Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the draft agenda for today's business. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, you listen to the reading of our agenda.
This is the reading of the agenda.
It's a pleasure. Honorable Malcolm Thomas.
Thank you. I want to move, Mr. President, that this agenda be received, adopted, and used for our business today with the following amendments. That which is the letter, B, which is the letter of complaint, be considered as A, and B should be the appearances, and it continue in that order. If I can obtain a second.
Honorable Movement, Honorable Margaret Thomas, the communication from the Chief Executive should take precedence.
Yes, that's what I said.
Okay.
The LB remain constant and the appearances come up to C. That was my amendment.
Before restating that motion, distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote? Yes. All those in favor of the motion say yea. Yea. Against? Motion is carried. Call for petition.
There is no petition, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Call for special committee's report.
None, sir.
Call for standing committee's report.
No standing committee report.
Call for bills, motions, and resolutions.
No bill, no motion, no resolution.
Business on Speaker's desk.
Yes, sir.
Proceed.
Communication from the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. November 8, 2024. Honorable Madred Seyon, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives in Section, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Madam Clerk, I write with reference to a letter JNB/MOS/RL/2028/2024 forwarded to the Honorable House of Representatives from the President, His Excellency Joseph M. Teargas.
Please behave. To members of the public, please behave. We are in section, please. Please, we are in section. Thank you.
Forwarded to the Honorable House of Representatives from the President, His Excellency Joseph M. Teargas Sr., informing of circumstances that warranted the postponement of submission of the draft national budget for fiscal year 2025 from the statutory date of October 31, 2024 to November 8, 2024. In the intervening period, the President has been made aware that a petition for a rate of prohibition was filed before the Supreme Court of Liberia by the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, requesting the intervention of the High Court in resolution of an impasse at the House of Representatives. Subsequently, the President received a communication from the Speaker indicating that the majority of members in the House of Representatives have requested certain officials from the executive branch to begin appearing for hearings in the joint chamber of the House, rather than before the Honorable Speaker. In his letter, the Honorable Speaker requested that the President instruct his officials not to appear before the majority members, stating that doing so will quote-unquote undermine the rule of law and set a dangerous precedent for our governance. The executive branch also takes due note of the fact that the Justice in Chambers on Wednesday, November 6, 2024, declined to issue the rate of prohibition as prayed for by the Speaker. The President regards the evolving situation with the utmost urgency and is unwavering about upholding the sanctity of the quote-unquote 3 separate but coordinated branches of government. Accordingly, in light of the prevailing circumstances, the President is actively seeking extensive expert advice to ensure a thorough and complete understanding of the Supreme Court's ruling and its implications. The President therefore wants me to inform you that the President therefore wants me to inform you that the draft national budget for fiscal year 2025 will not be presented on the date as previously requested, pending the conclusion of the various consultations. It is the President's prayer that the honorable members of the House of Representatives will, in the interest of Liberians, resolve the quagmire in the shortest possible time. Please accept sentiments of our highest esteem. Sincerely, Samuel L. Stepwa, Acting Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is a review of a communication from the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, we listen to the reading of the communication for the Office of the Chief Executive, His Excellency Robert Joseph Teargas, President of the Republic of Liberia. What is your way of pleasure? Honorable Amos Jones.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding Police, Having listened to the communication from the President of the Republic of Liberia asking for a postponement in the submission of the 2025 budget, I move, if I may obtain a second, that the President communication be received, noted, and placed in our archive for future reference. If I may obtain a second.
Distinguished colleagues, without restating our motion from the Honorable Alas Jones of Mangibi County, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion say yeah. Against? Motion is carried. Deputy Chief Clerk, please take note. Next.
A complaint against Honorable Councillor J. Anti-Koffa, Speaker, House of Representatives of the 55th National Legislature, Republic of Liberia. We, the undersigned, respectfully submit our profound We, the undersigned, respectfully submit our profound compliments to the entire honorable members of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature, and herewith complain Honorable Councillor Jonathan Anti-Koffa, Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 55th National Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, for the necessary and appropriate action of the Honorable Plenary of the House of Representatives. Over the period of his incumbency, we have keenly observed and reached the conclusion that Honorable Councillor Jonathan Anti-Koffa has been involved with a number of issues which, in our view, grossly contravene the standing rules of the House of Representatives and bringing into conflict with the Liberian Constitution, the organic law of the Republic, and statutes. Distinguished colleagues, there is a series of issues upon which we can hold the Honorable Speaker liable. But for the sake of time and necessity, we have chosen to bring to the spotlight major counts as set out below. 1. Honorable Councillor J. Anti-Koffa is significantly conflicted with interest, which is impeding the smooth functions of various committees of the House of Representatives by being the lead consultant and lawyer for several agencies of government, state-owned enterprises, concessions, and other private companies in Liberia, over which the House of Representatives exercises oversight responsibilities. Some of these agencies, state-owned enterprises, and concessions include the Liberia Petroleum Refining Corporation, LPRC, the Liberia Maritime Authority, LMA, the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority, NAFA, Liberia Telecommunications Authority, LTA, the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, NASCO, the Central Bank of Liberia, CBL, the Roberts International Airport, RIA, the National Port Authority, NPA, the National Oil Company of Liberia, NOCA, the City Trust Savings and Loan Bank, the B Mountain Mining Company, BMMC, and Telecommunication International Alliance, amongst others. This conflicted behavior of the Honorable Speaker violates Rule 45.1, Rule 45.2 of the Rules and Procedures of the House of Representatives under the subheading Conflict of Interest, which states, quote, where a member elected or delegated by the House to perform a certain task finds that the case at hand is related to his or her interest or that of a close relative, he or she shall withdraw from handling the case after notifying the House, the Speaker, or the committee on which he or she is a member, unquote. Rule 45.2 reads, quote, no member may be employed or engaged himself or herself in an occupation which is incompatible with the responsibilities vested on him or her, or is in breach of the trust given to him or her, or is damaging to the prestige and dignity of the house, unquote. Evidently, the Speaker, Honorable Councillor J. Anti-Koffa, conflicts his business interests, legal services with his leadership of the Honorable House, which grossly violates Rule 45.1, thus making it incompatible with his position, tarnishing the prestige and reputation of the House, and is detrimental to the common good of the Liberian people. 2. We submit that it is not possible for the Honorable Speaker is incapacitated from performing his function, duties, and responsibility as the administrative, supervisory, and political leader of the Honorable House of Representatives when he directly, personally, and or indirectly through his law firm advises the companies mentioned in paragraph 1 above, all of which companies are subject to the oversight responsibilities of the Honorable House of Representatives. 3. The Honorable Speaker single-handedly selected Liberia's representatives to the ECOWAS Parliament and lied on oath that he conducted an election on February 7, 2024 without the conduct of an election. The Speaker submitted a list of Liberia's members of the House of Representatives to the 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament to Dr. Sadi Mohammed, the Right Honorable Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament. In the transmittal letter which bears the subject, quote-unquote, election of Liberian representatives to the 6th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament, the Liberian House of Representatives lied on oath and misled the ECOWAS Parliament, violating provisions of the protocol of the ECOWAS Parliament. Honorable Councillor J. Anti-Koffa's actions are in total contravention of Section A of Article 18 of the ECOWAS Protocol titled, quote, elections, terms of office, and vacancies, unquote, which states that, quote unquote, states representatives shall be elected by direct universal suffrage by citizens of member states. His actions are also in contravention of Section B of Article 18 of the ECOWAS Protocol, subsection B of ECOWAS of 18 states. The representatives of each member state reflect as much as possible the political configuration in the state. Even more consequential, the Speaker's action violated Rule 40.1 and Rule 40.2 of the House of Representatives, which are under the heading as follows. Rule 40, honesty and transparency. Rule 40.1 states, quote unquote, without prejudice to the provision of this rule, every member shall be honest and transparent at any time. Rule 40.2, which tends to define what honesty and transparency mean, states as follows, quote unquote, no member may introduce false information or unsubstantiated matter pretending that it is true, unquote. The occupant of the office of the Speaker is expected to exhibit a high degree of credibility, integrity, and morality. And in addition, the Honorable Speaker is duty-bound to protect and defend the Constitution and the statutes of Liberia. Pursuant to his oath of office and rule of law. 4. Instead, the Honorable Speaker's action and conduct evidently revealed that he lacks the moral rectitude and behavioral competence to perform the high office of Speaker of the House of Representatives, the third person in the governance of the Republic. Five. The Speaker, Honorable Councillor J. Anti-Koffa, during his tenure as Deputy Speaker of the 55th Legislature, alarmingly overspent his budget and was believed to have used his budget line as conveyor for suspicious financial transactions and or for his personal gain or aggrandizement. This is evidenced by the alarming outgoing of US $4,038,687 actual money spent. A whooping US $2,936,159, higher than the amount of US $1,102,528 budgeted for fiscal year 2023 for the office of the Deputy Speaker. Reference page 3 of the fiscal year 2024 draft national budget. This practice amounts to systemic corruption and continues to reflect negatively on the office of the Speaker and subjects this Honorable House shabby practices by putting a credibility tint on the image of the Honorable House, which conduct grossly violates Article 5C of the 1986 Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Quote, take steps by appropriate legislation and execute orders to eliminate sectionalism and tribalism and such abuses of power as the misuse of government resources, nepotism, and all other corrupt practices, unquote. Rule 44.1 of the House's Rules and Procedures, being free from corruption, states, quote unquote, members are expected to fight corruption effectively by being free from corrupt practices and opposing corruption and set example in any anti-corruption struggle. 6. The 7-day session of the second quarter of the first section of the Honorable House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, June 6, 2024, revealed through its agenda that the budget law was unilaterally uttered by the Honorable Speaker, Honorable Councillor Koffa, a communication from Honorable Councillor Clarence G. Gaff, Representative, Electoral District of Magini County. Honorable Speaker, Councillor J. Anti-Koffa was formerly town manager of Zebulon of North Carolina, USA, and was convicted and was disbarred from the practice of law following charges of investing approximately $500,000 United States dollars. Honorable Speaker, Councillor J. Anti-Koffa was made to restitute some of the money, and the rest was charged to community service. Today, Speaker Honorable Councillor J. Anti-Koffa is still doing community service in the town of Zebulon in North Carolina, which is expected to be conducted by March 2026. Speaker Councillor J. Anti-Koffa is a criminal that has spillover effect on his current position, thus harming the government of Liberia and the public, and as well damaging the prestige and dignity of the Honorable House of Representatives of the Republic of Liberia. In view of the foregoing, we, the Honored Sir, respectfully seek the indulgence of the plenary of the Honorable House of Representatives to investigate the Honorable Speaker on these counts and to take the necessary and appropriate actions. Very sincerely, Sincerely yours, Honorable Ellis J. Grant, Representative District Number 1, Riverside County, Honorable Johnson S.N. Williams Sr., Representative District Number 3, River G County, Honorable Anthony F. Williams, Representative District Number 2, Maryland County, Honorable Prince Starr, Representative District Number 8, Montserrat County, Honorable
To our minister, please. Only the minister proper will be entered the seat of the, and then we see the his entourage. Please take the back seat. Sorry, please provide seat for our guests, please. Thank you. Proceed.
Honorable Samuel N. Brown Sr., Representative District Number 1, Niba County, and Honorable Samuel G. Koga, Representative District Number 5, Niba County. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is a review of the complaint from some of your colleagues. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, we listen to the reading of the communication from some members of the House of Representatives complaining the Speaker James Anti-Koffa with all of the attachments to the complaint. Before restating that motion, distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote? All those in favor? You wait a pleasure, sorry, distinguished colleague, Honorable Steve Tikwan.
Honorable Presiding, having listened to the complaint from colleagues with the exhibits, if true, constitutes violation of Article 90A of the Constitution, Rule 44 and Rule 45 of the Rules and Procedures of the House of Representatives, and perhaps other laws of this country on corruption and conflict of interest. For this reason, I move, if I can obtain a second, that a special committee be constituted to investigate this complaint as expeditiously, as reasonably practical, and to cite Speaker Koffa and all persons and agencies of the Liberian government referred to in this complaint to said investigation. So,
distinguished colleague, you listen to the motion made by our colleague, the record of Steve Keeper of Riverside County. Before restating that motion, colleagues, are you ready to vote? Already, Honorable Adams Jones.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding, colleagues, to the mover, I will be ready to vote considering the complaint that is being filed by some of our colleagues against the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I will be ready to vote where your motion to carry and the Speaker be made to recuse himself from his seat to submit to investigation.
The amendment to that motion is that the Speaker should recuse.
from my brother, from Montgomery County, I accept.
Already.
Mr. Presiding, Deputy Speaker, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleague, I will be ready to vote in the movement to accept that the amendment be made to the effect that the Deputy Speaker, current Speaker, having served as Deputy Speaker in 2022, was allotted 1.5 million and changed, and he overspent his budget to 5.6 million. That said investigation will be part of the already read out investigation. If you so accept.
With no time to waste, my brother,
I accept. Trade. People's trade.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding. To the movement, I'll be ready to vote where a motion to consider other aspects of complaint that were filed by Honorable Johnson based on the Speaker's appearance on the Spoon Show, which he mentioned a room at the Boulevard Hotel. He mentioned that the House was trying to establish diplomatic relationship with Guinea and others. I'll be ready to vote.
I accept.
Honorable Presiding, Honorable Deputy Presiding, distinguished colleagues, colleague movement, I will be ready to vote if you could kindly accept a simple amendment that the complaint herewith submitted today to plenary, the chief clerk be instructed to share same with the speaker to address him with the position. If you can kindly accept a simple amendment.
I accept. Distinguished colleagues will take at least 2 amendments and close this chapter. Honorable Johnson Williams, Anthony Williams, and then we'll take Honorable Colin, and then we'll take decision on it. I wish we see
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, I will be ready to vote if the movement can accept this simple amendment that the investigating committee be given a time frame that will be able to work in the scope of that time to expedite this identical investigation. If we can agree with 1 month, okay, 2 weeks.
1 week. To the movement, you said 1 week.
Let me restate the motion.
Please.
Having listened to
amendment to his motion.
Yeah, having listened to the cross section from the floor from police, I move. I will be ready to vote to the movement if we can accept this simple amendment that the investigative committee will give for 1 week to do their investigation and I go to plenary.
Today is Tuesday. That's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
Number 2, you accept?
I accept.
Thank you. Honorable Colin, please state your readiness.
Honorable Thomas P. Fala, District Number 1, Lofa County, and Doyen of the House of Representatives, and Doyen of the National Legislature, and Honorable Presiding Officer, co-presiding distinguished colleagues from Bone County, District Number 2, Jokole. I will be ready to vote if my distinguished colleague from Riverside County can accept this amendment. Because the Speaker, it is under investigation. The deputy, whom is not under investigation, and whom is not conflicted in this complaint, be made to act in or assume the capacity of the Speaker that he worked along with all relevant agencies, governmental institutions, other branches of government, our multinational corporations, foreign partners, to ensure that the proper function of the House it is required. And also, the chief clerk be made to write all relevant agencies,
or SOEs, state-owned enterprises of government, mentioned in the complaint to give the relevant information that will aid this investigation if such amendment, choose opinion if this amendment can be accepted by my distinguished, great honorable gentlemen of Riverside County. With all the praises, I accept. Distinguished colleagues, you listen to all of the amendments to the motion. Before restating, colleagues, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand.
Unanimous.
Against? Against? Abstentions?
Yeah, Honorable Presiding, Honorable Co-Presiding, unanimous votes.
Thank you, distinguished colleagues. With the votes being unanimous, in keeping with the motion that has been made and passed, as the presiding officer, I will now seize this movement to set up and announce the Alpha Committee that will begin to do her work immediately. Before further ado, we leave the committee chairperson of Judiciary, Honorable Michael Thomas will chair this committee. Honorable Barry Johnson will co-chair this committee. Honorable Ernest Marzier, member. Honorable Philip Benz, member. Honorable Austin Taylor, member. Honorable Mala Bishop, member. Honorable Sir P. Jara, member. Distinguished colleagues, we hope that you will do your work in keeping with the motion expeditiously and be able to report on next Tuesday. Clarence Banks, sorry. Oh, you right, sorry. Clarence Banks, I'm sorry. So, Chief Clerk, please take note of the name of the specialized committee that will effect this investigation. Thank you. With that said, distinguished colleagues, we have our guests with us. Unfortunately, we have a polarized situation in our joint chambers, so we urge you to accelerate the process so that our guests cannot face similar problem we have. In keeping with our discussion, we invited the Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, the Director General of the Liberia Water and Solar Corporations, as well the Minister of Transport, Honorable Sally. So in that order, distinguished colleagues, with your permission, we now so Honorable Chief Clerk, we will read the communications from the Honorable House of Representatives and begin with the Minister of Internal Affairs. Mr. Minister, could you please sit there? Please go behind. Please read all of the communications, and then the Sergeant at Arms will administer the oath, and then we proceed. Thank you.
November 8, 2024, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Honorable Minister, I present compliments and rights by Director of the Honorable Members of the House of Representatives in section to invite you to appear before plenary on Tuesday, November 12, 2024 at 10 o'clock a.m. in the joint chambers of the legislature to give a report on the rollout of local government Act of 2018 and also to provide reasons why the county service centers across the country are not providing the needed services to our people as mentioned in the communications from Honorable Ernest Marcier, Representative Electoral District number 4, Lima County, and Honorable James M. Colette, Representative Electoral District number 2, Bond County, respectively. Honorable Minister, please see the attached communication Please see attached the communication with sentiments of my highest esteem and remain sincerely C. Chair. Communication to Liberia, the Managing Director, Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. Honorable Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the invite to the Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Francis Sakila Nyamale, Senior. Thank you, sir.
Second, please administer the oath to the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Honorable Minister, will you please stand, raise your right hand, call your name and repeat after me.
I, Francis Sakila Nyamale, Minister of Internal Affairs,
Do solemnly swear that the testimony I'm about to give, as it relates to this hearing, will be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Now you can please have this seat. Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding Officer, and my distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen of the Honorable House of Representatives, the witness is hereby qualified for today's session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, as you may be aware, we have a situation here. And will not permit us to keep our guests here too long. So we hope that we can make this conversation very succinct because we have 3 of the agents of the executive to make the presentation. Please take note. We're not entertaining the proponent of the communication for at least 3 minutes, and then we can allow the minister to respond, and then we'll find a way out. Thank you. Honorable Ernest Massey.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding, and fellow colleagues, I'm glad at this stage the Honorable Minister is here to address the concern as raised earlier regarding the road outplay and reports in terms of the implementations of the Local Government Act. I would now want to prolong, as the Minister have listened clearly to the communication and the intent of our interest regarding this communication. I would like to provide him the time so that he will let us know, as stated in the communication, what are the plans in regard to the implementation of the 2018 Local Government Act. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, you will not take the stand as you listen to the proponent of the communication. We give you at least 45 minutes to make your presentations, and then colleagues will crisscross and then we'll proceed from there. Thank you. Mr. Minister, you have the floor.
Mr. Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished honorable members of the House of Representatives, we are grateful to God Almighty that we are able to respond to the call of the August body. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Presiding, with your permission, we want to make a small clarity. There is a wonder out there as to why we are attending this call. Since the fact that this is a portion of the body, the majority block of the House. We are here because under the doctrine of separation of power, the legislature has oversight on the other 2 branches of government. Even a representative of my district has the constitutional authority to invite me and I must attend. The caucus of any country has the authority to invite me and I must attend. Most especially so when we have 43 lawmakers, 44 lawmakers assembling and they request our presence. We are under obligation to attend. And and so we are here. Having said that, Mr. Presiding, one of the cardinal pillars of the agenda of President Bouakai and his government is decentralization. He has placed emphasis on it. We have been directed to ensure that decentralization takes full-fledged stage in the running of this government. In our capacity as minister responsible for local government, we have no choice but to do what is required of us. Firstly, decentralization is divided into 4 components. Decentralization of services, devolution of responsibilities and institutions, delegation of responsibilities and functions to trusted partners, and of course privatization. What do we mean? For our government to ensure that power is devolved to the people, we must decentralize services. By that, we mean there has been an establishment of service centers across the country. We came in when the Act of the local government have been passed since 2018 with a 10-year implementation plan. Unfortunately, we realized that almost 7 years had gone before we came in, or 5 years, so to speak, 5 to 6 years, with not much being done. Under our stewardship and the direct supervision of the President of the Republic, we were able to establish county councils as required by the Local Government Act. We were able to establish the National Council of Chiefs. We were able to have its leadership elected and subsequently inducted into office by the President. We have been able to establish local councils, county councils of chiefs. At the moment, as we speak to you, the county development agenda is being validated across the country with the direct involvement of the national legislature, both chambers. Mr. Presiding, members of the Honorable House, we have been able to ensure that the President was encouraged, which is his heartbeat, the devolution of authority to our local governments across the country. What we haven't succeeded doing is to make functional the service centers across the country. Reason being the absence of budgetary appropriation. Be that as it may, our partners, our bilateral and multilateral development partners who have taken interest in our decentralization program are working with us. As we speak to you, under a direct project being financed by the World Bank through the Ministries of Finance and Internal Affairs, an assessment of all of the 50 service centers across the country has just been completed. Report is being compiled. An reputable international institution was contracted and those contractors, those consultants are at work. It is our hope that the honorable body will see reason to appropriate sufficient funds and administer sufficient funds in the budget that will help with the implementation, full implementation of the decentralization program, particularly the reactivation and operationalization of the service, because with the service centers being functional, services to our people will be delivered. People wanting to get ID cards, people wanting to get passports, people wanting to get driver license, people wanting to register vehicles, people wanting to get birth certificates, death certificates, and you name the rest of the services, social services to be delivered by this government. So no longer have to come to Monrovia. That will reduce costs and reduce time. Mr. Speaker, at this point I want to pause, and if there are questions or inquiries, we'll respond. Thank you, Asami.